Welcome back, students. Let us continue the MCQs regarding the chapter Biodiversity and Conservation. Look at the 47th question. The current rate of species extinction is how many times faster than the pre-human time? Actually, before the origin of humans, the rate of species extinction is very low. But nowadays, it has become very large and it is 100 to 1000 times than that of the pre-human time. So before the origin of humans, the rate of species extinction is very less, but now it has been 100 to 1000 times than that of the pre-human time. Next question, find the incorrect statement. Option A, sixth extinction is different from previous extinction in terms of rate of extinction. Yes, this is correct, because the sixth extinction, what it is happening in the present time, it is being different from the previous extinction in terms of rate of the extinction. And option B, ecologists warn that if the present trend of extinction continues, nearly 50% of all species on earth might be wiped out within the next 100 years. So within the next 100 years, the rate of species extinction will be very large. And option C, amphibians appear to be vulnerable to extinction. Yes, in the present situation, amphibians are the most vulnerable to extinction. And option D, recent extinction is completely natural. Actually, the recent extinction is not, it is natural, it is mainly because of over exploitation, human activities, etc. So that we can go for option D. So recent extinction is completely natural. It is the incorrect statement because it is not at all natural. It is mainly because of human activities, over exploitation, etc. etc. And next question, loss of biodiversity in a region may lead to. Loss of biodiversity in a region may lead to, see option A, decline in plant production. Yes, when there is a loss of biodiversity, there will be decline in plant production and lowered resistance to environmental perturbation such as drought. Yeah, the plants will be having a lower resistance towards the extreme conditions such as a drought and increased variability in certain ecosystem processes such as plant productivity, water use and pest and disease cycle. So everything will be affected and that will be greatly variable when there is a loss of biodiversity. So we can go for all of the above. When there is a loss of biodiversity in a region, so all these things will going to happen, so that all of the above. Next question, which of the following is a major cause of loss of biodiversity? We know there are several causes for biodiversity loss. In that, the major cause for biodiversity loss is habitat loss and fragmentation. Because habitat, in the sense it is the natural habitat, that is the forest. When the forest land has been destroyed and it has been made into fragments for our cultivation. So that fragmented land we are using for agriculture, so that when we destroy their habitat and we made it to fragmentation, so there the species extinction or loss of biodiversity mainly taking place. That's why among all these, this is the major cause for biodiversity loss. And next one, the most dramatic example of habitat loss comes from the, so the most dramatic example of habitat loss mainly comes from the tropical rainforest. Next one, find the incorrect statement from the following. See option A, tropic rainforest cover around 6% of the earth land surface. Yes, this is correct. And option B, Amazonian rainforest is being cut and cleared for soybean cultivation or for conversion to grasslands for raising beef cattle. Yes, this is also correct, because the Amazon rainforest is being cut and cleared because of cultivation of soybean and also conversion to grasslands for raising the beef cattle. And option C, animals with migratory habitats are badly affected by habitat loss and fragmentation. Even this is also correct. And option D, mammals and birds require small territories. This is wrong, because mammals and birds, they require large territories, but here they have given small territories. So that option D is the wrong statement. Next one, Stellar's sea cow and passenger pigeon become extinct due to. So these two species, they are extincted because of the overexploitation. As there is overexploitation or overuse of Stellar's sea cow and passenger pigeon, they have been extinct. Next one, which of these are examples for alien species invasion? See option A, Nile perch. It is a predator fish. It was introduced in the Lake Victoria in East Africa. It is right. And African catfish introduced in the Indian River. Correct. And water hyacinth in India. This is also an example. So that all these are the alien species invasion. So all these are examples for alien species invasion. Next question, which of these are invasive weeds? So the most common invasive weeds are the Parthenium, that is carrot grass, Gandhari, that is lantana, and water hyacinth, that is Eichhornia. So all these are the most invasive weeds which we can see. Next one, co-extinction means. So what do you mean by co-extinction? It is actually the extinction of both mutually dependent species. If for example, if two species which are mutually dependent on one another, if one species become extinct, the other one automatically will become extinct. So that is called as co-extinction. So that co-extinction means it is extinction due to obligatory association of plant or animal. It may be a plant or it may be an animal. If they are obligatory associated, if they are mutually dependent on one another, one species extinction automatically leads to the other species extinction. For example, yucca and pranuba moth, it is one of the best example for co-extinction. If there is no yucca moth, if there is no yucca plant, we cannot find the presence of pranuba moth. If there is no pranuba moth, similarly we cannot find the presence of yucca plant. So that is co-extinction. Next questions related to biodiversity conservation. Which of these is not a narrow utilitarian argument for conserving biodiversity? So here we have discussed why to conserve biodiversity. So there we come across the narrow utilitarian, that is economical benefits, broadly utilitarian, that is ecological benefits, and ethical benefits. So here which of these is not a narrow utilitarian argument, which means it is not a economical benefit. So food, it is an economical benefit, medicine, construction material, so all these are economic benefits but not the pollination. So this pollination belonging to ecological benefit are broadly utilitarian. Next one, all are examples of broadly utilitarian, which means ecological benefits except. So here pollination, it is an ecological benefit, oxygen also, and aesthetic pleasure of walking through thick woods. So all these are ecological benefits, but firewood, it belongs to narrow utilitarian or economical benefits. So that all these are the broadly utilitarian or ecological benefits. Next one, find the incorrect statement from the following. So here first option, introduction of Nile perch in Lake Victoria in East Africa led to the extinction of more than 200 species of cichlid fish in the lake. Yes, this is correct. So because of the introduction of Nile perch, it leads to the extinction of more than 200 species of cichlid fishes. And next one, fast dwelling Amazon forest is estimated to produce through photosynthesis and 20% of the total oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. Yes, of course. And option C, more than 25% of the drugs currently sold worldwide are derived from plants. Yes, this is also correct. More than 25% of the drugs what we are preparing today, so they are mainly derived from the plants. That is also correct. And option D, illegal introduction of American catfish Clarias garipians for aquaculture purpose is posing threat to indigenous catfishes in our rivers. So this is, the statement is completely wrong, because here the illegal introduction of African catfish, that is a Clarias garipians, it belonging to Africa. So that is commonly called as African catfish, but they have mentioned American catfish. That's why. So this option is the wrong statement. Next one, we save the entire forest to save the tiger. This approach of conservation is, we save the entire forest So entire forest in the sense it belonging to in situ conservation. So what do you mean by in situ conservation? It is the conservation of species in their natural habitat. So as the tigers which are present in the forest, we save the entire forest in the sense it belonging to in situ conservation. Next one, what percentage of the Earth's land area is covered by all biodiversity hotspots put together? If all biodiversity hotspots put together, the Earth's land is covered by around only 2%. It is only just 2%. And what are biodiversity hotspots? Hotspots are the region where there is a high species richness or great biodiversity rich species we can find in the hotspot region. Next one, the following are examples of ex situ conservation except. If it is ex situ conservation, the conservation of species out of their natural habitat. So we'll see all are examples for ex situ conservation except. So zoological parks, botanical gardens and wildlife safari parks are the examples for ex situ conservation, whereas biosphere reserve it is an in situ conservation. So what is biosphere reserve? It is actually the large large protected and undisturbed area where there is a great biodiversity. So that region is called as a biosphere reserve. It belonging to in situ conservation. So all these are ex situ conservation except biosphere reserve. Next one, the following are examples of in situ conservation except. So biosphere reserves, national parks and sacred groves. So all these three are in situ conservation, whereas gene bank is the place where the germplasm will be collected and preserved, so that belonging to ex situ conservation. Next one, hotspots are characterized by. So hotspots are characterized by very high species richness, high degree of endemism. You know endemism, the species belonging to the particular geographical area, that is endemism, and region of accelerated habitat loss. So here habitat loss will be controlled or accelerated in the hotspot region. So all these are the characteristic features of hotspots. Hotspots having very high species richness, high degree of endemism, and region of accelerated or controlled habitat loss. Next one, in India, ecologically unique and biodiversity rich regions are legally protected as. So in India, the ecologically unique and biodiversity rich regions are legally protected as biosphere reserves, national parks, sanctuaries. So all these are legally, ecologically protected or conserved as a biodiversity rich regions. Next one, the Earth Summit, historic convention and biological diversity was held in. So this Earth Summit was held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. Next one, World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in. So this World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in Johannesburg, South Africa 2002. Next one, which of these are hotspots of India? So in India, there are mainly three biodiversity hotspots. One is Western Ghats, other one Himalaya, and the other one is Indo-Burma region. So that all these three are the biodiversity hotspots in India. All these three are the biodiversity hotspots in India. Next one, ex situ conservation includes cryopreservation of gametes, in vitro fertilization, tissue culture, all these. So all these are ex situ conservation because we are conserving out of their natural habitat. It may be cryopreservation. You know cryopreservation, it is the conservation of species or gametes in the liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius, and in vitro fertilization, that is inside the laboratory, and tissue culture, it is also performing in the laboratory. So that all these are ex situ conservation. Next one, the reason for biodiversity conservation are. Already I told you there are three reasons to conserve the biodiversity. One is a broad, narrow utilitarian, other one is a broad utilitarian, and other one is ethical. So broad, it is ecological, narrow, economical, and ethical. So all these are the reasons for conserving biodiversity. Next one, the following are broadly utilitarian except. Broadly, that is economical benefits except. So pest control, broadly in the sense ecological. Pest control, it is the ecological benefit. Flood control and climate moderation, all these are ecological benefits except pharmaceuticals. So pharmaceuticals belonging to economical benefit. Next one, in the World Summit on Sustainable Development held in 2002 in Johannesburg, South Africa, how many countries pledged their commitment to achieve a significant reduction in the current rate of biodiversity loss at global, regions and local levels by 2010? So it is about 180. Next one, sacred groves are present in. So Kasi and Jainita hills in Meghalaya, Aravalli hills of Rajasthan, Western Ghat regions of Karnataka and Maharashtra. So all of these. So sacred groves can be present in all of these, so that we can go for option D, all of the above. Next one, how do ecologists estimate the total number of species present in the world? So how ecologists can estimate the total number of species present in the world means by making statistical comparison of the temperate tropical species richness of an exhaustively studied group of insects and extrapolating this ratio to the other group of animals and plants. So by making this, the ecologist can able to estimate the total number of species present in the world. Next one, the species diversity of plants, that is 22%, is much less than that of the animals, that is 72%. What could be the explanation to how animals achieved greater diversification? So when we count the number of species, the animal species are more than that of the plants, because animal species having 72% and plants having only 22%. So what would be the reason for the diversity or greater diversification in animals? So it is mainly because of their movement to diverse habitats resulted in more evolutionary changes occurring in animals. As we can find movement in case of animals, they can able to move from one place to another place, or we can say that they can able to change their habitat from one place to another place where the climate or conditions are favorable. So that because of that region, we can say that the animals having greater diversity. Next one, which extinction is presently in progress? We know that it is the sixth extinction, it is presently in progress. Next 77 question, identify A, B, C and D in this figure. So this pie chart is related to the animals. So when we estimate the number of species, here among the animal species, insects will be the major one, because 70% of them are animals. So that here D, it is insects, and B it is mollusks, C is crustaceans, and A it is other group of animals. So that we can go for options A, other animal group, B, mollusks, C, crustaceans, and D, insects. So D, it is 70% will be above of insects. Next question, which of the following require large territories? Already I told you it is birds and mammals require large territories. Birds and mammals require large territories, so that both A and C. Next one, presently, which of the following face maximum threat of extinction? That is amphibians. So presently, amphibians will face the maximum threat of extinction. Next one, loss of biodiversity in a region leads to increase in variability in certain ecosystem processes like, so it is all of these: plant productivity, water use and pest and disease cycle. The loss of biodiversity in a region leads to the increase in variability of certain ecosystem processes like all of these. Next one, gametes of threatened species can be preserved in a viable and fertile condition for long periods using. So we know that the technique is called as cryopreservation technique, where we can conserve the gametes that may be viable and fertile. So we can preserve them in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius. So that condition or the technique is called as cryopreservation. Next one, at present how many biosphere resources does India have? So in India there are about 17 biosphere resources. In India, there are 17 biosphere reserves, whereas how many biodiversity hotspots are found in the world? So, how many biodiversity hotspots are there in the world means there are 34. There are 34 biodiversity hotspots in the world. In India, there are 3 biodiversity hotspots. Next one, hotspot is a region of, already we come across this question. Hotspot is a region with rich endemism, accelerated habitat loss, and low levels of species richness. Hotspot is a region of both A and B. Yeah, there is a endemism, the species which are belonging to particular geographical area, that rich endemism can be seen in hotspot, and accelerated or controlled habitat loss in that hotspot region. But low level of species richness, this is the wrong one. So that we can go for both A and B. Next one. The following are direct benefits from biodiversity except if they are by direct benefits, it means they are economical benefits like firewood, fiber and food, and option D pollination, it is actually ecological benefit, so it is not the direct benefit, it will be the indirect benefit. So we can go for option D, it is not the direct benefit from the biodiversity, only these three. Next one, the following are indirect benefits from biodiversity except. So these three, pest control, climate moderation and flood control, these are the indirect benefits or ecological benefits from the biodiversity, but these dyes, resins and perfumes, they are the direct benefits. Next one, which area of MP, that is Madhya Pradesh, contains sacred groves? So in Madhya Pradesh, there are 3 sacred groves, namely Sarguja, Chanda and Bastar. So that all of these are the sacred groves which are present in Madhya Pradesh. Next one, find the incorrect match. Pollinator, bees, bumblebees, bats and birds. So all these are pollinators only, correct. Legally protected biodiversity rich regions, that is biosphere reserve, national park, wildlife sanctuary, sacred groves. Yes, this is also correct. Lung of the planet, that is Amazon rainforest, even this is also correct. Revett-Popper hypothesis, Harvard ecologist Paul Rich, this is the incorrect match, because this Revett hypothesis was proposed by a Stanford ecologist known as Paul Ehrlich. So it is a Stanford ecologist but not the Harvard ecologist, so that is the wrong match. Next one, stellar sea cow become extinct from. So this stellar sea cow became extinct from the region of Russia. And last one, strict protection of hotspots can reduce ongoing mass extinction by 30%. So if there is a strict protection of hotspots are regions with rich endemism, accelerated habitat loss, everything. If we strictly protect the hotspots, it is possible to reduce the mass extinction by around 30%. So these are the MCQs regarding the chapter biodiversity and conservation, and this completes the MCQs of this chapter. In the next class we will start with the another chapter. Thank you.